Hi there again. Got another quick little mini lecture to go along with the reading assignment here. This one's on essay format. So just general information here. Some of this won't apply because right now I don't know if we'll be submitting essays as attached files or within text boxes where we lose format. But if you do need to submit an essay, and if I decide to have you submit essays as attached files, this is the way you want them to look. This may or may not be any new information to you. So generally speaking, you must have a title, and the title should predict the essay development. So again, if you're going to be looking at this before we do our first assignment, the literacy narrative, um, you don't want your title to be literacy narrative or something of that sort, or essay one. Neither of those are good titles. Um, but you might be come up with a title such as texting is not writing, or writing is not texting, or um, Facebook and writing, or something that gives an indication of what things are about. So you always want a title. The rule for titles is that it is the same font that you use for the rest of the essay. You do not make it bold or italics or anything like that. There are no reasons for that. It's just we could just say it's against the rules. You're not supposed to do it like that. But that's hardly the best rationale for much of anything. But the same font. Keep it simple. You capitalize the first, the last, and then important words in between. And the important words in between generally throw people off. If it's a noun, if it's a verb, if it's an adjective, if it's an adverb, generally speaking, you will probably capitalize it. If it is an article or a preposition, you probably won't capitalize it. But it's play it by ear. So anyhow, um, generally speaking, so you will have an header in the upper left. It starts with your name, your first name, your last name. It is followed, and this is all double spaced now, by the course. So for us, English 101. Then it is followed by the instructor's last name, your professor's, whatever you want to call them. And that would be Bleck, B-L-E-C-K, and then the due date. And you can do your date in whatever standard format you prefer to do a date. And then you want to have your title. It should predict the essay development, give a reader a sense of what the heck it's about. Then your essay will have an introduction, a body, a conclusion. It may seem overly simplistic, and perhaps it is, but I'll run through it anyway. Your introduction is your first paragraph. You want to have what we call some kind of a hook. It may or may not be a single sentence. It should somehow invite the reader into your essay, entice them to keep reading. It could be a brief story. We call that an anecdotal introduction. It could be the background or history of a particular topic. There are just many ways to go, and we'll see what happens. And usually, if you have an ineffective introduction strategy, I can provide a suggestion once I see a draft of your paper. You want to make sure that we know what the heck your topic is. If you haven't introduced it, it's not a good introduction. And generally speaking, for a college essay, you will have a thesis statement. Many readers, and I think generally speaking, your college professors will want an explicit statement. I'm a person who does not like questions as a thesis statement. I think if you're going to ask the question, you better provide the answer, because that sets up a stronger direction for the paper. You must make a commitment. It provides direction. I know exactly what to be looking for, what to pay attention to, that sort of thing. So do that with your thesis. Be clear, concise, to the point, make a good claim. It's nice if you omit such phrases as before we begin or in conclusion in your introduction or conclusion. Generally speaking, we want those two parts of the essay to stand on their own. Introductions and conclusions are effective. They're thought of in matched pairs. In a narrative, you can begin on a scene, end on the scene, that sort of thing. State a problem, provide the solution. There are a number of ways to do it that you want to pay attention to. The standard, well, do I have, yeah, I have some information down the page a little bit. Audience, I think it says consider the audience when thinking about your strategies. Keep in mind, I think what's important there is that you, the person writing this paper, are the voice behind it. You are introducing yourself as well as the topic. If you have jumbled sentences, spelling and punctuation errors, if you present yourself as a sloppy person or a unclear person, then your reader is not going to come to you as much as you might like. So there are a few introduction conclusion strategies listed there. The funnel-shaped inverted pyramid, pretty standard approach. A couple of more. I'm not going to bother going over those. I think I kind of touched on them already. So introductions, a little bit of conclusion. Excuse me. The body is where you will develop your ideas. And I wouldn't worry so much, when we talk about writing fiction or something, we want the narrative to build towards a climax, some high point. Honestly, with a literacy narrative, I don't know that that is going to happen, but we can see how that goes. Just don't expect a lot of surprises in that regard. It doesn't say anything. That's kind of a surprise. I will have to add something in the conclusion section that essentially many people have been taught to just restate their major points in the conclusion, and I like to push you beyond that, and I want you to plug this into a broader context. What does your literacy narrative indicate about literacy in general? As much as you can draw a conclusion in that regard. So keep this stuff in mind. Come back, review this. No need to watch me again. And hopefully this will be helpful. And as always, if you've got questions, you've got to let me know.